So let's talk about the 5 ways that you can integrate into a new country when you move abroad. So you've moved to France and you're trying to like immerse and get into the culture. I'm going to look at like the 5 top things you should do while you're living in France, while you've moved abroad, so that you can feel better settled, better integrated. And I took some notes and I wrote them down. And I'm a little, well, you should wait for the last one because the last one is a bit of a hot take. The fifth one is one that I talk about a lot with friends, colleagues, other people who have moved here, other expats, other immigrants, etc. And it's a bit controversial, but you'll see. But let's talk about the 5 things. So even before you we discuss the 5 ways to really integrate into a new culture when you move abroad, is into a new country when you move abroad, is let's break down first. Like your starting point has to be being grounded and knowing your why. Like what was your goal? Like why did you move? Why did you move here? Why are you in France? What do you want to achieve? Why did you like move in the first place? Why did you move abroad? Did you move abroad for work? Was it for family? Was it for personal growth? Were you trying to like escape your old life? Like really understand what your why is and what that is rooted in and your goal for your move abroad, because that's like important. Understanding your reasons for why you're doing this thing will help to like clarify how you want to integrate and how you want to move in the new country. Without clarity, integration will feel like chaos and confusion. You'll have a lot of doubt. So before you do anything, just make sure you know why you moved to France. Like, why did you move abroad? Now let's get into the 5 things. The first one is, wait, I put notes. Yeah, the first one is don't try to fit in. Okay, I know we're talking about integration, but don't try to fit in. When I say this, I mean don't try to like assimilate, because integration is not assimilation. So to break this down further, it's don't like try to lose yourself or your cultural identity trying to fit into this new culture. So you move to France, right? Don't try to become French. Yes, you want to immerse in French culture, and you want to understand the culture better in order for you to like navigate it in a good way. But you're not French. Like your identity and your cultural roots are important, and they have these your cultural roots and your cultural identity has shaped you. They're a part of you. They'll always be a part of you. And so understanding French culture and immersing in French culture does not mean you should forget like your own cultural identity, right? You don't have to erase your identity to belong. So this is what I mean, like don't try to fit in, like don't become the thing, because you will lose yourself in the process, and losing yourself in anything is a great way to have it not work out or not go the way that you want to in a negative way. So just understand that. Don't try to fit in. Um, Maintain your identity while you're still adapting and learning and immersing in the new culture. Second one, I talked about don't try to fit in, but now I'm going to tell you step out of your comfort zone. And what I mean is say yes to new things that you might otherwise never do. It can be just like small things. It doesn't have to be some like big adventure. Small things like new food or a bus ride to the next town over just randomly. Um, Step out of your comfort zone because it's a new place, a new country. This is the point. This is one of the main points of moving abroad. So if you've moved to France, like don't just do what you used to do back home. Um, Expand. Let the new culture help you to like bloom into something else, right? And in addition to when I talk about the comfort zone, I also mean like your cultural community. So you'll have like different diasporas in France. So like there's a Jamaican diaspora. Sure, there's going to be an American community. There are going to be the Moroccan community. Just there are different like communities across France. France is a quite a diverse place. So you'll find different pockets, cultural pockets all around. And it's great to have community so you're able to have touch point with your culture in a new place if that's possible, but don't cling to it and stick to it because for me I think it traps you in this tiny bubble and you never get to blossom and bloom and grow and expand your world and your point of view and your worldview and just your own like personal growth. If you stick and cling to your cultural community, so you're like your diaspora in a country. So you should keep it. You should keep some of your comfort and you should keep some of the, contact with community. It's important, especially in the first few years moving abroad, because this helps to stabilize you and calm things down, and that sense of familiarity brings comfort, right? But don't let it be everything. You want to step out from time and time again to explore new things and to discover the new culture and to do things that you might not do normally or you wouldn't have had the opportunity to do. Just things like this, like experience new things. It's really, really important and experience it from the new country's cultural point of view. If you get what I mean. Like, yeah. The third one that I have is create anchors and routines. Like these daily habits that you create for yourself in a new culture is very important because they bring like a sense of like stability or you get like yeah, like stability for because it brings familiarity and you have like this routine and it helps to like ground you in the place. Like tiny repeated habits anchor you to the place and it makes it feel like it's truly yours. So have your favorite boulangerie, your favorite épicerie, your favorite cafe, your local gym, etc. Like have those things because you also want to become a regular in a place. When you become a regular in a place, that's how you connect with new people. That's a good way to meet new people. That's how you connect with your community, get more involved, and you're able to interact more. And that's how like you create that like condition for serendipity. That is just so easy to create when you live abroad. So create little anchors and routines. One to bring you a sense of to ground you and give you a sense of place in the new country, make it feel like it's truly yours. And also these anchors and these routines are a good way to help you become more involved and connected to your community in the new country that you're in. And the fourth part it's about learning the language. Most times when we move abroad, most times, yeah, you're moving to France, it's going to be highly unlikely that you were speaking French on a daily basis in your home country. And you might be, but for most of us, this is not a case. And so learning the language of the foreign language, the language of the new country, is one of the best ways to understand and to integrate into a new culture. It's like when I learned French, or every time I like powered up, every time I improved my French and jumped to a new level, like a new part of the culture unlocked, a new part of France unlocked for me that was just hiding in plain sight. Like language will give you like unlock these new stories, new experiences. It will unlock so many things. So learning language is important, but you need to learn the language in a fun way. So you don't need to do full-on vocabulary studies in like a textbook, or stress yourself out about boring grammar lessons, because that can be like pretty overwhelming. Like it can get real boring real quick. So try to find fun, practical ways to learn the language. So like practical everyday phrases are what you need. Like you don't need to know how to make in your first couple of months in France. You don't need to know how to have a long, elaborate conversations. Like you just need to know like where's the toilet? Where's the store? How much is for the bread? Like ça coûte combien? You need like general things. And like I've done some unhinged way things of learning French. For a couple of months I only spoke in present tense. I spoke in present tense because that's all I knew, and I was not going to stress myself out to learn the past tense because I had too many other things to figure out. So I just spoke in present tense for like 2 months every day, just in present tense in French, because and also broken present tense. But they'll figure it out. They will get it. The point is to the point of communication is to be understood. And once you understand them and they understand you, you've done it. So just find fun ways to learn the language. Um, do it through just like daily songs, or if you like little puzzles, or tongue twisters, even though tongue twisters are not very practical, but they're quite fun and it helps you with enunciation and pronunciation and things like this. In the beginning, just getting through the daily activities is all your nervous system needs, because you're going to have so many other things that's coming at you: new sights, new smells, new sounds, new processes, new admin stuff, new work, new life, blah 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 blah. You just need a few daily activities, daily language phrases to help your day. Plus, it's also kind of like a big confidence boost when you can order your croissant, you can order your petit déjeuner, so your petit déj, your breakfast, at the cafe without like too much struggle. If you take it like in these tiny step at a time, in real ways that you can feel the reward of, yes, you can feel the accomplishment, then it gives you such a big confidence boost, and it makes French and the foreign language a lot less intimidating. So just find fun ways to learn the language. And the last one, the fifth one, is to ignore stereotypes. And as a black woman in living in France, I'm also going to add on that. Also, just know that not everything is racism, but also everything is racism. Like, hear me out. What I mean is, we live in a structurally racist world. Like, white, we're structurally racist world, and our current world is also full of so much more other forms of discrimination and prejudice: class discrimination, language discrimination, so many things, right? And it's all wrapped up in this racist bubble. It's very easy to turn ignorance and cultural differences into racism. Like, if you go looking for it, you will find it. It will smack you like right in the face. But the point I'm trying to make is you need to also understand that you are viewing some of these cultural differences and some of these, and you're viewing and experiencing this unfamiliar place through your own racially tainted lens. Like, nobody has escaped racism. We've all internalized something. And sometimes cultural differences, the way things are expressed, the way people do things, cultural differences can trigger some of our own internalized racism. And that could just make it worse. Where something that might be a cultural difference, you could interpret it as a microaggression. And microaggressions exist, of course, like for sure. For sure. I sound like Macron. For sure. We can do it for sure. Anyway, microaggressions exist, right? But sometimes what you might interpret as a microaggression is just a cultural or language difference. So a simple one that I can think of right now is, for example, names. In my experience, and also like when I was living in the US, um, there is a general, and I will say just in general, there is a general default to people having trouble with names that are not European, typically European or European. I don't know if this is the word, but with people of color's names, right? Asian names, African-based names, Arabic-based names, etc., etc. If it's not John, Paul, Elizabeth, blah blah blah, they struggle a little bit. But I just want to say that, in my opinion, in general, a lot of this is also, or some of this is also impacted by cultural difference, language difference, exposure, like how homogeneous or diverse the place is. A lot of it is rooted in ignorance. And I'm not trying to tell you to ignore it or pander to it or let it slide or whatever. They should pronounce your name, they should work on it. But the point is, having somebody struggle with your name may not be as racist as you think it might be, right? In my opinion, French people only get French names correctly. Like, they're only able to say French names the good way. And like other sort of like universal, easy to pronounce names like Anna, Emma, Nico, Malik, like those kind of like names that are two syllables, no tongue twisters, or it's really universal names. Almost any language will get it right. Written, spoken, blah, blah, blah. In my opinion, French people only get French names correctly and these universal names. My name is Diedre. My name will forever be mispronounced in French. So my name is Diedre, and in French, that is Diedre. Diedre, Diedre. Diedre. Okay? That's my name. Forever it will be mispronounced because it's just not part of the French language, like the phonetics. That dr, Diedre, the dr sound, it's really, really difficult because it's just not part of French. So the closest they'll get is Diedre. They won't say Diedre. They'll say Diedre. That's probably like the closest. If somebody gets that, I'm like, yeah, that's already good. And it's not because they aren't practicing my name or they aren't making an effort or they just say whatever. It's just because phonetically it's quite difficult for a French person to say. And and the French people they're getting in France, they're getting German names wrong, Albanian names wrong, Moroccans, Nigerians, Jamaicans, everybody's names, they're Italians, they're getting everybody's names wrong. If it's not French, they don't be knowing. I also get names wrong, right? I don't be knowing French names too. Like sometimes I struggle when I first saw Thibaut as a French name. I was like, huh, how do we say this one? Right? I had to practice a little bit. Manon is difficult for me. I'm not even saying it like quite well, anyways. But that's just the point I'm making. I've rambled a bit, but the point I'm making is that sometimes what you may view as a microaggression could just be a cultural difference, and it could be that you're triggered because of your own internalized racism, or just you're triggered by something in your past. So give some of them a bit of grace. It also helps for your mental health as well. Tackling all of the microaggressions that you might come across is not even for the strong. Like, that's a task upon itself. So just ignore like some stereotypes and understand that sometimes not everything is racism, but also everything is racism. Like, come to terms with that and process it in a way, in your own way, because we're all going to deal with that very differently, especially if you're like a non-white person in Europe. You are going to be confronted with with microaggressions. Like, that is a thing. But understand that some of them is rooted in ignorance, it's rooted in cultural differences, and even when the microaggression is racist, yeah, you just have to figure out like how you want to deal with it, because sometimes it's also based on a lack of exposure. And so you will go through and you'll figure that out in the best way that works for you and your needs and what you require and your standards and your triggers and stuff like this. But just don't generalize, or try not to generalize, even though I just generalized and said the French people are really bad at names. But try not to get too stuck on stereotypes, because Europe is not a monolith, the same way Africa is not a monolith, the same that Black people are not a monolith, Asians are not a monolith, Caribbean people, if you want to break it down even further, are not a monolith, right? And so France and within France, etc., yes, some stereotypes can guide you, and there are things that you can generalize, because a culture is, in my opinion, one big generalization of things, because it's just typical ways of how a group of people interact, communicate, and function. And so just try not to stick and live and dwell on stereotypes or generalizations when you're in the new country, because integration is a process and it will take time. Sometimes it might take years to really integrate into your new country, into France, in a way that you truly feel settled. Just don't try to force it, or you're gonna end up stressing yourself out, and you're just going to fall down this dark hole of shame and failure. So let cultural immersion and cultural integration happen organically, and just take those 5 steps to help you to integrate quickly and smoothly. Because when you let it happen to you, like, you just kind of like absorb the integration, like, you never know what you will absorb or what will stick with you. So I have like a couple of French mannerisms that have stuck with me, and a lot of it is with words and language. So it's impacted my accent, I would say. like this is also like a bit French. I go all the time. You will probably see it in my videos. Like I do a ton of like French sounds that a Jamaican wouldn't typically do. And there are just other things that have like integrated with me in terms of like French culture. So I even set like the way that I eat, you know, how you set your table in terms of like etiquette, dining etiquette. I tend to do it the French way because I just had a lot more practice doing it this way. So I got more accustomed to it. Blah blah blah. Like uh, tons of things. But the point is, integration is a process, and you shouldn't try to force it. It will take time. So just do it step by step, and those five ways can really help you to feel more settled in France when you move. Ciao.